The news right now is terrible, and I'm only using the word terrible because anything more accurate wouldn't get past our censors. But in the midst of all the awful recent headlines, a few uplifting stories have emerged, which brings us to a segment called The Kind of Story We Need Right Now. In April, to slow the spread of the coronavirus, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo ordered all residents to wear face masks when they're outside. Unfortunately, not all New Yorkers complied. So what can you do when you see someone in public without a mask? Ask them politely to put one on? That's one approach, sure. But when a woman showed up without a mask to a grocery store in Staten Island, people there tried a different approach. This is the kind of story we need right now. The entire pandemic has been marred by a lack of clear guidelines from federal and local government. Get tested, don't get tested, wear a mask, don't wear a mask. You know who is providing crystal clear guidance? Staten Island. No nuance in the Staten Island guidance. They have one guideline, and it's wear a mask or get the out of here. And frankly, it's the clearest message I've heard this whole time. The CDC is based in Atlanta, but for my money, it should be based in the frozen food aisle at that ShopRite. Just for comparison, once again, this is how you ask people to wear a mask in Manhattan.
Wear a mask if you may be in a situation where you can't socially distance.
And this is how you do it in Staten Island. But the pandemic hasn't just changed how we shop, it's also changed how we work, how we socialize, and according to two photos that went viral recently, it's changed how we baptize babies. That's right, those priests are shooting infants with squirt guns. This is the kind of story we need right now. When America opens back up, it's gonna be tough to decide where to go first. A restaurant, the beach, the salon, a carnival. Catholic Church just made our decision easy. I'm not even Catholic, and as soon as New York opens up, I'm gonna be like, Siri, find me a baptism, because they finally look fun. They look fantastic. Also, maybe when this is over, priests should, still keep that 6-foot distance. I don't know. Could be a win-win. In other religious news, a Muslim community in Germany recently asked their local IKEA if they could gather in the store's parking lot so they could celebrate the end of Ramadan while also practicing social distancing. And get this, IKEA said yes. Look at that photo. How great is that? It's the only nice thing that has ever happened in an IKEA parking lot. Normally when someone prays in an IKEA parking lot, it's to say, please let this glue organ fit in my car. Please let this glue organ fit in my car. Also, I'm so impressed with how carefully spaced apart everyone is. IKEA must have given them hundreds of these. Meanwhile, back in America, we're all glued to our phones watching terrifying events unfold. Yesterday, I got a notification that said this. And I have to say, rude. But the bright spot of social media lately was this video of a little boy playing doctor with his dad.
What's your name?
Dada.
Dada. What happened?
So, I woke up, you know what I'm saying, I had a little cramp in my neck, and my neck kept doing this.
You woke up?
Yeah, when I woke up, it just kept doing that, twitching every time.
Why you did like that?
I don't know. But can you at least check my heart?
Yeah, I told you.
Yeah, because I ain't feeling too good.
This is the kind of story we need right now. 82 million Americans don't have a primary care physician. Meanwhile, this man has an amazing doctor. He asked all the right questions. What's your name? What happened? That's twice as many questions as they often ask you at urgent care. Plus, that doctor doesn't sugarcoat bad news. Most doctors, if they hear something weird in their stethoscope, are like, I don't know, I'm gonna have to run some more tests. This doctor gives it to his patients straight. And finally, in order to survive during the coronavirus pandemic, restaurants across the country are delivering food to Americans in quarantine. And while ordering delivery provides people with meals, it doesn't provide them with the social experience of being at a restaurant unless they order from a restaurant in Philadelphia called Apricot Stone, where owner Ara Ishkarian is providing customers with an interactive experience. It all starts when customers make a reservation.
At that time slot, I reach out to you. We email you the menu, and we email you a wine and spirits pairing with the food.
And then at your reservation time, Ara calls you on FaceTime from the restaurant and takes your order.
Hi, Melissa. Thanks for coming in. How are you?
What do you recommend as a starter?
I love our grape leaves.
And Ara makes sure customers get the full restaurant experience.
We have the music playing. We have the candlelight on the table.
If you listen hard enough, you can even hear a drunk couple breaking up at another table. And I don't know them, but I do think Kelly is making some good points. Once customers order, they log off until their food is delivered. Then after it arrives, Ara calls back to check in.
Hey guys, how is everything? Let me refill that water for you.
This is the kind of story we need right now. I love every part of going to a restaurant except leaving my house. I would have wanted this service before the pandemic. Plus, for months, most of us have only seen the four walls of our house. This gives you an opportunity to see a fifth wall behind Aura. But my favorite part of the experience is this.
We email you a wine and spirits pairing.
I assume they're pairing wine and spirits with food instead of pairing wine with spirits, like I've been doing. You know what goes great with Cabernet? Gin. And if you're out of gin, paint thinner? The last food pairing I made before that was peanut butter and a hot dog bun. Ordering from Apricot Stone, much like a priest with a squirt gun, is a win-win. They get to stay afloat, and you get to skip the worst part of eating out, trying to calculate 20% while you're drunk. So much is hard right now, so thank you to everyone who is making things even a little bit easier, because whether you're keeping your community safe or providing great health care or just posting a video of yourself dancing salsa with your own reflection, these are the kind of stories we need right now.